games where he's just not able to get it going early, and that does impact his later game. So against Kid, who is very much a team-fighting jungler, want to see whether SOFM can get that early game rolling, because that will help Snake out a lot.
Let's see if Snake can do just that, because we have seen recently Snake, helping him out in the jungle quite a lot. Jay-Z collapsing with him quite nicely, but still teams are collapsing onto SOFM when he goes aggressive and punishing him in that sense. For now, though, we're heading into Champion Select for game number 1 between Invictus Gaming and Snake eSports. And it's Malzahar, Sivir, and Rek'Sai, the 3 bans that come out from IG. Once we have Vladimir, LeBlanc, and Gragas being taken off the table for Snake.
Yeah, so Gragas is definitely Kid's best jungler, so I appreciate the ban there. And then just a lot of love given over to Rookie. Not wanting to first pick the Melz is interesting. He does have a good Talia. Massive fan of his Talia. Of course, Save is a big Hecarim player, and then pretty much mages after that. So we'll see whether that is a Hecarim for him.
So Hecarim is locked in as the first pick for Invictus Gaming, and immediately Snake respond with a Shen as their first pick of choice, and they're going to be picking up the Jhin as the AD carry from Martin.
Yeah, Martin's actually a really good unorthodox AD carry player, so I like him on Jhin. I think it's one of his better champions. We'll see whether he finds success. He's also a really good Ashe player, at least in my opinion. So Snake, they definitely play utility well in that bottom lane.
Let's see what Invictus Gaming decided to pick up as their next 2 picks. Still a lot of strong picks left available. Ryze is one that comes to mind.
Kind of has fallen out of favor a little bit in the LPL, at least. They seem to think that there are some counters around for it.
I'm about to say, he was first picked quite a few times when Vladimir was banned out, or picked pretty favorably even when Vladimir was not picked up yet. Now he's just been falling through draft phase left and right. And they're going to opt to go for the Braum Ashe as their next 2 picks for IG, so still very pick-heavy in their team comp.
Yeah, it certainly is, especially if that is a jungle Hecarim. I mean, Ashe, if she lands an arrow, Hecarim can get in there and close the distance relatively well. I would love to see them play a Talia with this composition. Talia's pick is actually phenomenal. You can get into the side lanes really effectively with that ulti, and she just shoves like no one else in League of Legends. I mean, she's a better pusher at level 1 and 2 than Azir, which really does just speak to the pushing potential of the champion.
I, for one, have yet to watch a Talia game live, including one this morning. Thank you, TSM. That has been won by the team who Talia picked up, so that'll be an interesting pick coming up.
Really?
To see. No, I have yet to see a Talia game live that has been won by a team.
That is really bizarre.
I've watched VODs. I've seen teams win with Talia through videos, but I have not seen one live yet.
Talia players hate him. Close your eyes if it's locked in, Fish. Come on, give him a fighting chance.
As Alistar is going to be locked in for the support of choice of Snake, and Graves is going to be locked in as their jungler of choice.
Yeah, so SOFM going towards a Graves pickup here. A little bit different. Haven't actually seen much of his Graves at all recently, I don't think. So we'll see whether he can make it work. Can't build Tiamat on it, so my opening line of the night is completely ruined.
Snake in general have only played 4 games of Graves this entire year.
Well, ZZR had his tier list, which very clearly had Nidalee and Kindred above Graves. That's why ZZR didn't play much of the champion. He would take it 3rd out of the trifecta when that was the priority in the jungle pool. Of course, times are changing now with SOFM in the lineup, but he's taken even things like Elise and Lee Sin over Graves in the past.
Certainly has. Even Rek'Sai, and there was a game where we saw his coach pretty furious on camera, talking to him, making him pick up the Gragas in one of those games. As in fact, Victor and Trundle will be the final 2 picks that come out for Invictus Gaming, so this should be a Trundle top lane.
Yeah, it certainly is. So not going to be a Hecarim or a Mage up there. We'll see how Save fares in the 1v1 matchup. Of course, Flandre is quite the top laner in his own right and should be looking to dominate there. In the mid lane, looking for a Karma right now. Not really a tank champion. Would like to see him go towards something a little bit more aggressive. An Azir or a Lissandra would come to mind.
Let's see what they decide to pick up for tank. So they definitely left this mid lane pick for last. They know it's going to be a Victor in the mid lane. No big flexes for Invictus Gaming, and they actually do go for the Karma lock-in as the champion of choice for tank.
Okay, now this is dangerous because there is a significant lack of damage on this lineup. I mean, Graves is very much going to have to get snowballed here. Jin's damage is incredibly high as the game progresses, but it's within windows, so you have to be able to get it done. And you know, Karma only has that 1 damaging spell, really. I mean, the root does do technically damage, yes, I am aware. but it's not really what you would expect out of the mid lane mage as the game progresses. So really have to be able to weave around the windows. I mentioned this the other day where you have tank top, tank support. Was it Vici that picked it?
Yep, Vici picked a very tank-heavy roster.
Yeah, Vici picked a similar roster, I believe. You
With
just
easy
have to
Hoon on this Karma.
Yeah, you just have to be able to balance the damage incredibly well, and Vici weren't able to get it done. They picked Maokai, Alistar instead of the Shen, and then they had the Karma, Graves, and Sivir. So a very similar composition. You have to be able to weave in and out of the team fight, and we'll see whether Save and Baolan allow that to go down, because they have a lot of answers to kite back.
Well, Vici couldn't do it in their game yesterday. We'll have to see if Snake, with a very similar lineup here, can do it against Invictus Gaming as we head onto the Rift for game number 1 between Invictus Gaming and Snake eSports. Unfortunately, it seems like we're having a couple of technical difficulties here before we head into the first match between Invictus Gaming and Snake eSports, the last best of 3 set that we have here today. And like you mentioned, before we went into that game, Spawn, a very interesting team coming out from Snake. Very low in damage, especially with picking up Karma in the mid lane with 2 tanks in their lineup. Invictus Gaming, a little bit more orthodox, you could say, coming into the game.
Yeah, and the way that you normally use Karma is for a counter pick against something like a Vladimir that neutralizes a lane, and then you get an Aurelia or a Jax or even a Trundle that you can speed up and, unleash on the back line. Shen's not going to do that. He's a pure tank. He's going to be able to save someone. He does put down good, consistent damage, but it's not high damage, right? So that just means that you have to be able to speed up one of your AD carries, a Graves or a Jhin in this situation, and be able to flirt them in and out of the team fight. So a lot of pressure on Martin, at least in my opinion. Movement speed is great for Jhin, and he can put down a lot of damage, but has to be over elongated periods of time. So Snake, they've got a high execution, focus heavy composition, and IG they have like the run at you and hit you hard composition.
Well, let's see if the execution or just running straight at you is going to come out trumps here in the first match between Invictus Gaming and Snake. As you do have all 5 members from both teams running out across the Rift, just fanning out as 5, spotting out for vision throughout the multiple entrances to each team's jungle. But nothing too crazy coming out just yet.
Tank scaring away animals on Summoner's Rift. You can see a couple of dragonflies still hanging out, not perturbed by the Karma player. Has actually gone with Cleanse. That's good because, what the heck? Who starts Sweeper and then just laughs at you?
He's got some experience there, Swan.
He certainly does. Does he go back and swap it over? Because that would be the straight. He does. Rookie is just a troll. He just has a good giggle about it as well.
Good old Rookie. We've seen a couple of mid laners laughing today. I think we had Dade doing it a couple of times to start the game off last. But
we even had a jungler die during death today with Wushuang, having a good dance as Scout picked him up on the LeBlanc. But that means that they will be able to get themselves a lane swap with the Braum as well as the Ashe heading towards the top side of the map. They've got to spot out the Raptor camp, though.
Unfortunately, they do put a ward down after it was swooped away by Rookie. So they do see the lane swap coming in.
Oh, here we go.
For IG, Flandre does get tagged up by the Winter's Bite, but doesn't take too much damage and able to just take down the Raptor camp and move over towards the other side of the jungle. Jay-Z now going toe-to-toe against Save on this Trundle. Gets a good Thunderlords proc. Martin actually going to continue to chase down as well. So lane swap is initiated by Invictus Gaming, sending both Braum and Ashe towards the top side of the map.
And you can see already Rookie getting shoved in. This is something that Karma players do like to do. I mean, your power Q at the start of the game is able to shove up quite nicely. Rookie, however, is a masterful Victor player. I mean, he's one of the best in the business when it comes to mid lane in general, but his Victor is on a completely different level. So we'll see if he is able to exploit tank at all.
I know Rusty's a very huge fan of how Rookie plays the laning phase, especially when he gets a champion like Victor. You can already see he's putting in a lot of good trades here against tank, using his mana quite offensively.
and SOFM already down in the bottom side of the jungle. He jungles incredibly quickly, SOFM. Takes greedy rune pages for it as well. Doesn't really take scaling rune pages. So I like to see how much he power farms at the start of the game, and you can see that he's not going towards helping out any pushes. Did unfortunately get 3 buff, but is able to pick up a lot of small camps at the earlier stages of the game.
Certainly is. He has a very unique style in comparison to a lot of junglers in the LPL, and it really suits his name style of me. And he's doing that again here in this game, of still being very heavy in terms of his invades. Now looking for a very early gank on towards Rookie, who's been pinned down by the tether coming out from Tank, as well as the empowered Q. SOFM does get tanked up, and a flash forward means SOFM picks up first blood.
Yeah, and Rookie still had flash. This is what I'm talking about with SOFM. He is so unpredictable. Rookie would have thought, okay, normal jungler, I'm home scot-free, walk this one off. SOFM, however, flashes in on him and picks it up. And we already complimented Rookie's mid lane. Well, that is now gone. You can see Rookie actually screaming into his microphone. He's not happy at all that the young Vietnamese player is able to do that to him.
Just when it looked like he was about to back off, just go straight back into his face. We can take a look at that again, Spawn.
Yeah, so he gets rooted up here and big damage comes out. And SOFM, as you said, reloading, moves away, no, flash forward, actually picks it up. Great animation cancelling there. That's huge burst damage that comes out of Graves, and Rookie just not expecting it. Should have expended the Summoner spell.
Fantastic start already coming out from Snake, especially from SOFM. Still jungling quite strong here, has yet to go back to base. In fact, he opted not to go for the refillable potion start. Picked up the 3 pots instead.
Why would you? I mean, just a waste if you ask me, Fish. Every other jungler in the world does it. Doesn't mean you should.
Well, there's this guy named SOFM who has a different style to many people, Spawn.
But we'll see what he goes with the shop. I mean, we've seen a Duskblade second today. Do we get a Duskblade first? No, we don't. He picked up a jungle item. Oh, what a disappointment.
This is from a jungler that actually started a game without a jungle item on Hecarim a few weeks ago. You can never really be too sure of SOFM when he's playing for Snake. For now, though, that's the only lead that Snake have picked up, so just a small gold advantage for them, as we do see the iteration of the lane swap continue. Both the top lane and bottom lane outer tower fell at the same time for both Snake and Invictus Gaming, so no big tempo during that lane swap.
But Snake actually match it, so you know they saw that top lane save was pushing prematurely, and they want to freeze that one up for Flandre. They do it very well, and with SOFM and an early advantage, you see it already level an item up over Kid. It means that they're going to be able to protect that freeze.
Kid's even gone for the Hunter's Potion on top of that. SOFM still refusing to pick up his refillable, just constantly buying potions. And now, like you said, we are going to see Baolan and Marge in the bottom lane with Martin and Jetto. Tank still pushing up this wave rather aggressively towards Rookie as SOM now fights.
He's level 6 to level 4. I mean, he just does it time and time again. And you can see that he just acts as if he's in complete control. Rookie quite sneakily actually dropped his ward into the back of Raptor Pit, making sure that he popped the Raptor sense straight away. But that's going to be a red buff that's going to be controlled by SOFM, and no response is going to be available out of Kid.
Certainly is. That will be coming up shortly. SOFM looking to try and take that one down. Gets watered there by Baolan, so they know it's there.
Missed an auto attack.
Mechanical mistake coming up from SOFM. Denies his opportunity to take down the ward on red buff, and he actually moves away from the pit. Instead heads down towards the bottom side of the map with the help of Jetso to try and clear out this crowd camp.
Yeah, potentially looking for a dive or something along those lines as well, because we've seen them, they're willing to pull the trigger really early, Snake, in these situations. So have to be on your toes right now if you are Invictus Gaming. Once again, they're just guaranteeing that no freeze will come out, and they are securing themselves a red buff.
They still have a freeze on the top side of the map. Flandre has been controlling that one quite nicely. Save is level 5. Still Flandre level 5 as well. Might be able to hit level 6 a little bit quicker with Stand Unite available. Martin actually comes down and drops down a pink ward there to try and clear out the wards over on the red buff. And SOFM has just set up a tent here inside of Kid's jungle.
It certainly has, and you can see the Rookie is actually a little bit scared. SOFM actually uses that pressure to shove in mid lane, and they're going to start sieging mid lane turret at 7 minutes into the game. They just don't play by the same rules.
He's going on top of Rookie already. That's really aggressive of Graves, still holding on to his collateral damage as well. Being rather aggressive in between turrets against Invictus Gaming.
As I said, they just don't play by the same rule, Fish. They just get in there. Rookie has to burn the ultimate. Normally a team, they back away instead. They just continue to rotate even more members in there. Can actually take away a blue buff now. And they're not done. They're going into top lane. Jetso is actually even in behind the turret. They've reversed a huge wave at the perfect time, and they're going to see if they can pressure save off it.
And they've even forced Marge and Baolan to the mid lane. On top of that, Rookie, the superstar for Invictus Gaming, the core member that we were talking about that's left remaining, he's been looking rather frustrated in this mid lane.
He's been absolutely smashed. And it's weird because I hate saying it, but it's not even Tank that's really beating him out. I mean, sure, Tank's keeping the wave pushed up and pressuring nicely, but it's just SOFM with repetitive visits around that side of the map that means that Rookie can't shove up the way he wants to, can't control the wave. And SOFM is styling on people.
And so it's on the style of me, pulling off a good old spawn there as he takes away the blue buff from Tank as well.
Yeah, it gave the other one over to Tank on the other side of the map. Of course, it makes Graves jungle incredibly quickly. And Marge, I don't even think you can do that because Kid is 2 levels behind still and kind of needs as many resources as he can get given on this Hecarim.
Certainly does. He's about 10 CS behind SOFM, is now level 6, so we could potentially see Kid use his charge to try and start a fight for his team. He's looking towards the bottom lane already.
Not really all that much initiation coming out, and of course Flandre does have the ultimate available.
No level 6 on Ashe either, so no enchanted crystal arrow to start a fight across the map.
And you can see Rookie's paranoid now. He's just doing laps of the Raptor camp looking for SOFM. He's like, he's here somewhere, I know it. I don't want to get killed again.
I don't blame him. If you check Raptor Camp or Krugs, normally you'll find an SOFM there, especially if it's in your side of the jungle.
But really, and we said it, like he's so aggressive at the start of the game. And really, it just shows the kind of tempo of League of Legends that Snake want to play as a unit now.
We did smite away the Wolf Camp, so they know exactly
You're
where
not
he is.
pushing fast enough, Tank.
I'm going to come help you. Taxi lane a little bit. Now they've got the shield on towards the Graves. He's going aggressive towards Rookie again. Flashes away from Braum. Rookie goes down. Baolan's going to be the next target here as they're going to pick up another kill. This time going over towards the jungler. SOFM in a little bit of trouble. Kid's going toe-to-toe. Shuts him down, but gets taken down by Flandre in return.
And at what cost? I mean, right now, Invictus Gaming, they're trying to fight fire with fire, but SOFM... I mean, he's just unrelenting. He walks in one more time and just dashes straight at Rookie.
Now that's a flash away from Flandre. It means Tank's going to get hit by an enchanted crystal arrow. Good flash coming out from Save. Gets away from the headbutt pulverized combo of Jetso. And
so they will save their mid lane turret. But right now, I mean, 3-1 and 2 on the jungler. SOFM is an absolute monster. 0-0 and 5. Athene's Unholy Grail finished up for Tank. Even Flandre getting in amongst it. Snake, when they look good, damn do they look good.
They certainly do. And Kid's been having a really tough time with this Hecarim and has gone for the Phage as his first item pickup, opting not to upgrade his jungle item to start this game off.
And it's times like this where I just completely disagree with the idea of even thinking about going for Trinity Force. I mean, you can see Save in the top lane. He's going towards a Titanic Hydra. Sure, he'll be tankier before a normal Trundle that goes Ravenous. But realistically, you need like Cinderhulk into Deadman's played out a Kid right now. Otherwise, SOFM is just going to light up the whole team.
We're taking a look at a lane right now that we haven't seen too much of in this game. It's Martin down the bottom side of the map. He's 20 CS up ahead of Marge, and whenever we get a glimpse of this bottom lane, he's holding massive creep waves and freezing it atop of his tower.
Yeah, and the reason that he's so far ahead is just because, you know, SOFM was pressuring that bottom side jungle, and there hasn't been a turret there the whole time, so Marge just has to walk off CS. Now pressuring the top side of the jungle, SOFM, going to clear out a ward for himself. Save thinks about rotating over, and he's like, nah, Kid, you're on your own.
Kid sees him, immediately doubles back, heads straight back behind the safety of his turret. I don't even think you can call it a safe turret anymore. SOFM's shown that that doesn't exist to him at the moment.
Yeah, and you know, they keep rotating people into this mid lane. Tank doesn't have his cleanse available. Ashe Arrow going to come out, misses.
So lives to fight another day. Rookie was looking to try and move aggressively towards that one as well. He's been holding his own in terms of CS quite nicely in this lane, but it's 5 assists already for Tank.
Yeah, and you know, Rookie doesn't want to win a lane by CS. I mean, that's not in the MO that he signs at the start of games. He wants to be able to body people.
So FM's there again, decides he wants to push out the wave, and he's even got the Jhin to try and help him out. He's been a big factor to all these dives that have come in, throws out the Deadly Flourish as well as the Curtain Call right after.
And it's actually really impressive that SOFM got this done so early in the game, because you see that right now, Rookie instantly clears the wave, but there's only about a third of the health left on that turret. It's on your screen one more time. It just means that, you know, the chip damage all that more relevant because Rookie has to hold the creep wave completely off the turret.
And there's still counter jungling here. Tank now gets a blue buff as well. And again on the other side of the map, taking it away from Rookie. SOFM decides he wants to pay a visit towards the top side. We already saw Save head back to base, and Flandre is now pushing aggressively towards the turret. SFM moves up as well.
And Save actually isn't going to Titanic Hydra. He's going Trinity Force at the same time as a Hydra. So he just wants to be a full carry Trundle.
I've seen this before, I just can't remember where.
And one more time, I just don't think I saw it out of...
Rookie, they're going to die here. Jay-Z just pops the Thunderlords, takes him down. Good flash from Tank. Avoids Kid's ultimate.
Rookie is being decimated. At the same time, they take top lane turret. This game is a wash right now. Snake as an overall unit are just outplaying Invictus Gaming.
It's already a 4,000 goal lead as SOFM once again gets behind this mid lane turret. It will finally fall down. You know what? I think that's actually a good news story for Rookie, is now he can stay a little bit closer towards his base.
Yeah, he doesn't have to run as far to die. Yeah, I, once again, don't agree with the decision-making out of Invictus Gaming. They need to find a way to stop the bleeding. You generally do that through tank items. They're much more gold efficient than offensive items, and you see that across the board, they're just trying to fight fire with fire. Still, at the same time, you know, they don't really have any side lane pressure. They've lost control of the heart of the map, as Rookie is just being camped out. It's been pretty much a 3v1 entirety of the game, but once again, credit to Snake's lineup for recognizing that is what they have to do. SOFM wanted that so bad. And, you know, now with 3 outers down, they can continue to control things like the Dragons and just move their pressure to elsewhere on the map.
And they've been piling resources in towards this mid lane. We've seen Jay-Z's come up there a couple of times, picked up 2 kills there. Tank's literally a second support at the moment.
What the heck is SOFM building?
I wouldn't know, Spawn.
I hope he builds a Hurricane.
That'd be pretty cool, but for now, Baolan's in a lot of trouble. Flashes away, but it's straight in towards Tank. He's going to get taken out really low. There's the ultimate coming out from Shen. Tank has to stay alive a little bit longer, and he does as SOFM just flashes over the wall and puts a few shotgun pellets into his face. Now Marge has to run, but it's going to be sped up and slowed down. Collateral damage is going to whiff there, but forces the flash away from the Ashe.
It actually looked like SOFM tried to animation cancel that. If you ult and dash at the same time, you continue to move forward whilst outputting a lot of damage. Didn't actually work. I think it was Dardoch that discovered that one first, so credit to Team Liquid's jungler over from the NALCS. But one more time, they pick up a couple of kills, and SOFM now going to turn his sight towards a Dragon. If that is a Hurricane, I'm calling it the ranged Hydra. And I'm just claiming all Hydra/Hurricane items to SOFM in his name. Because no one has built that item on Graves ever, Fish.
Have you played against them? We'll have to see what he decides to pick up, what he decides to pick up later on, because he is 4-1 and 2.
We're not going to have to wait that much longer.
He's got 30 CS up ahead of Kid right now, a couple of levels to throw into it too. They're already 5,000 gold, approaching 6k up ahead of Invictus Gaming.
That's cheeky out of Tank. Just threw the Q over, picked up the 3 little ones. Might have got his hand slapped out of the cookie. Oh!
So is that cheeky as well. Marge actually in a very sticky situation. Unfortunately, the second shot doesn't connect. The 4th crit does come out. Tank, though, in lots of trouble here. Here comes a teleport into the mid lane. Rookie, though, getting jumped on straight away by SOFM. He doesn't care about the gravity field. Immediately changes targets towards Baolan. Stuns him up with concussive blows, but Sunfire Cake coming out of Shen takes him down, and they trade 1-for-1 in the mid lane.
Yeah, 1-for-1. Both teleports are used. Flandre didn't have his ultimate available, otherwise probably would have been able to save a member of the team. You know, Rookie, to his credit, is continuing to fight in this mid lane. You can see that he's calling in reinforcements of his own this time around, but it's just the entirety of the map. After the dust settles, it's still Snake that look aggressive.
They certainly do, and they're looking to continue that aggression with a push in the bottom lane. They've got a big wave stacked, and going to be able to get some decent damage on towards the bot lane inner turret. Baolan dashes forward with Marge to try and stop this one from happening. They've got it down to less than a quarter health, and they're going to try and push for the win
they pull
here.
The trigger on the arrow.
But there's the ultimate that comes out from Braum, trying to stop them from advancing any further. Flandre was looking to try and dash back in to get that last auto attack that Snake needed to take it down. They're desperately trying to defend this turret as SOM just backs off and decides, okay, I'm going to take a red buff.
Actually gave it over to Martin, so SOFM starting to learn what it means to be a team player, it looks like.
He still takes down the turret, so a good push coming out from Snake. Does a bit of counter jungling, takes down the bottom lane inner turret as well.
You can see the gold lead's still continuing to grow at 7,000. Now Arrow comes through and nails Martin. Everyone's left him.
But here's the Stand United just to keep him alive, and Shen will just decide
Martin's
to casually
drinking his
step up.
tea at the same time for crying out loud. This is not even a contest anymore. He clicked away from him and took a sip.
The rest of the team left him to die, to be fair. The arrow hit, everyone's like, yeah, we're recalling.
Andre was like, all right, we left a kid at the grocery store again. I'll go pick him up.
And Spawn, you might want to check in with the items picked up by SOFM.
Yeah, so he's bought a Hurricane. This is great. The ranged Hydra has been successfully completed by the Graves, of all people. Does he realize it already AoE shoots fish?
I don't know, Spawny.
I don't even know how this item interacts. People are going to say I'm a bad color caster. Who else in the world builds a damn Hydra on Graves?
Oh, he plays Graves like he's playing Annie, so I don't really blame him at the moment. He can do what he wants.
You build Hurricane on Annie? Now I'm more confused. Still 2 levels up and 40 CS over Kid. Oh, the whole team is here, however. Tank gets caught out.
Big gang squad coming out. SOFM already went over this wall. Rookie takes him down now. Jay-Z's in a lot of trouble. Alistar actually has to flash away. SOFM's being caught out. Now he's going to get taken out really low. Everyone flashes on top of him for the double kill picked up by Rookie.
Yeah, really nicely done, actually, from the Invictus gaming lineup. And this is what you have to do. You don't fight fire with fire. Be smarter. As soon as he goes over that wall, all right, let's go. Let's pillar off the only exit out of there. We've still got a big pick comp. And you can see that Rookie, he does damage. He's going for his one-shot build. Wouldn't be surprised if we see something like a Lich Bane coming out as the game progresses. And we'll see whether they can translate it into their second objective of the game. They desperately need it.
We're looking to try and push down the mid lane outer turret. Snake just going to give that one up and give an objective back over towards Invictus Gaming.
And you know, it's actually still relatively close. It's only 4,000 gold. I mean, we've been talking about how well this lineup is playing, but a portion of that gold is wasted. SOFM's item build it's bad. I'm just going to go out and say it. I mean, Hurricane does not give you all that much.
Well, to be fair, we used to see Graves pick up Phantom Dancer. It's not quite a
Phantom Dancer is better than Hurricane.
I'm not saying it's not, Spot. Don't worry about that.
You stop trying to defend your juggler of choice.
This observer is kindly pointing out the Hurricane Orb.
Yeah. No, we're way ahead of them.
He clears Raptors pretty quick.
Certainly does. And you can see that Save, to his credit, has actually gone towards a little bit of a defensive item. So maybe they're starting to learn. Ninja Tabby also picked up, as well as what looks to be a completed Zeal item quite soon. So IG, they're getting back within touching distance, to be quite frank.
They certainly are. About 4,500 gold behind Snake at the moment. It was much bigger before the 2 picks that IG picked up on the blue side of their jungle. And that's why FM has to be a little bit careful here. Could have been pincered out by the members that were rotating up from the bottom side of the map.
He's starting to overextend just a little bit too much. And Martin's accelerated his item build. I mean, he didn't go for a Youmuu's first. Actually went for a Dustblade. Now he's going in towards an Infinity Edge. And I have seen this build before. You grab your Infinity Edge and then you go towards a Zeal item. However, it is an incredibly greedy build. You don't get the bridge that the Youmuu's generally provides for much cheaper and gives you some great flat penetration. So once again, across the board, I do think that Snake are getting a little bit carried away with their own cleverness this year.
Let's see if they can close this one out. They still got a long way to go.
Oh, Kid, that's risky.
Trying to invade SOFM, who just pounces over the wall, spots out his Raptors are gone. Kid just pounces away, happy with the steal.
Looks ridiculous.
You got the shotgun pellets and then these 2 laser beams that zap out from the side.
Look, it is a lot of attack speed. It's just, you know, it doesn't give you any of the double dipping. Generally, you want to go towards something like either the rapid fire cannon to make up the range that you don't have with Graves, or the Phantom Dancer for the defensive stats. Of course, this gives you neither. It just gives you a heck of a lot more attack speed, as well as 2 extra shiny bullets. This means theoretically he can shoot 12 pellets if he picks himself up an Infinity Edge at a certain part of the game.
It's quite a lot of pellets.
Certainly is.
Meanwhile, Invictus Gaming just trying to stop the bleeding, it seems. They're still at the same goal deficit as they were previously, but now just confined to their side of the jungle. Hurricane coming out from the Ashe, a little bit more orthodox. Now looking for the components of her Infinity Edge, so not seeing the Essence River being picked up.
Yeah, I like this. Rapidly accelerate when you're going to be doing good damage. You also need to be able to grab Life Steal as well as the Last Whisper as soon as possible, just because Flandre is going to be a pure tank. So I actually think that IG, they kind of adapted to this game. Maybe a little bit slower than I would have liked, although SOFM now tagged up.
He has been tagged by the Enchanter. Chris Arrow does get
Can
the
they
Stand
blow him
United,
up?
though. They're going to be able to blow him up right
Got
off
him.
the side of this fight. Meanwhile, though, they're able to take down Kid in the back lines as he dives in to try and lock him down and successfully secure their blue buff.
Yeah, and Rookie says, get the heck out of my house. Just absolutely destroys SOFM. And he's starting to do serious damage as this game progresses. Flandre wasn't able to make it in there in time. You know, if that was a Phantom Dancer, which looks like SOFM's going to pick up anyway. Double Zeal item, incredibly potent on the Graves, of course.
You're going to start to blame this one on me again, because I believe yesterday we saw a lot of AD carries pick up Double Zeal. Now SOFM's doing it.
He dreams of being an AD carry.
So he's the opposite of Kid,
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, exactly right. Kid was like, get me the heck out of that role. SOM was like, nah, put me in, coach. I can make a good case for myself here. Still sitting on another serrated Dirk as well. And they just want to continue to try and play this pick game. Jetso, don't do it. The ward isn't worth it, my friend.
He's tempted. He's waiting nearby. Let's save. He's able to put down the frozen domain and go for the clear. Rookie does the same thing to take down the pink. Well, it's a good vision control coming out from Invictus Gaming. They still have Shen actually on the bottom side of the map. That's a lot of damage dished
I
out
reckon
towards
you
Graves.
want a Hex Drinker. I'm just channeling my inner thoughts. That might actually be able to save your life at a certain part of this game. But Flandre, he's got a very deep push here.
Really?
Tiamat is going to shove that back like much quicker. This is one of my frustrations with Shen at the moment, is it does take you a while to get these pushes going. And because his Q is magic damage to champions and creeps, not to turrets, he doesn't push incredibly quickly.
You saw Snake, they channeled everything onto SFM in that last fight. Stand United, Dean's Unholy Grail proc coming out from the Karma as well as the shield, and they were still able to burn through him like a hot knife through butter. So it's a little bit scary at this point in the game for the pick potential that Invictus Gaming have. They're still fighting from a gold deficit, but it's still the same deficit, so they've stopped the bleeding, but they haven't healed the wounds up just yet.
Yeah, Kid's done a good job of actually catching up, at least in levels, not in gold. Like, is now going towards a dead man's plate after he actually hasn't picked up his jungle item at all. So,
well, this man's been split pushing for quite some time. Flandre still doing some work, as here comes the curtain call looking for Rookie. Dodges out the first bullet but can't stop the second, third, and fourth. That chunks him out. He's going to have to retreat away from this turret. Ash is the only one left to try and defend. This gives Snake some time to clear out the vision around Baron Pit.
yeah, see whether they actually want to pull the trigger upon it. You can see big pings going towards that
They're
area.
doing
Actually teleport straight away. It has been spotted out, however.
There's the Hawk shot coming out from Ash. They know this has been started. It's now down to half health. They're chunking away the Kid. Looking to see if he can get the steal. Balan goes in. There's the arrow on top of SOFM. It's down to 1,000 health. Kid goes in.
They got him
The
again.
spite's going to come out from Jin, though. So they're looking for the return fight. It's a 5-on-5. SOFM is down. Jay-Z and Flandre trying to get out of the pit. Rookie goes over the top. So does Marge. They're chasing him down. Kid dies in the back lines, but it's a double kill coming out for Rookie. They trade 1 for 2, but Baron being picked up by Martin.
So Snake with the ballsy Baron call, able to pick it up. Fantastic shot calling, and they do manage to escape over the back end of the pit. One more time, Rookie streams in there and tries to light up the entirety of the team, but cannot get it done. However, you can see that the team fighting of IG is starting to shine through. This is what Kid is known for. This is what Rookie is known for. They are fantastic team fighters, and they have been able to carry IG in the past.
They certainly did. Marge as well, putting out a heck of a lot of damage on Ash during that team fight. In fact, opted to flash over the Baron wall after it fell to Martin to chase out the rest of the team. SOFM, he's got a rapid fire cannon now on this Graves. He's looking for all those crit shots here, Spawn. But during that fight, he dealt less damage than Jay-Z did.
Yeah, the reason he did is because he just had to bail over the back wall and then died. If you just instantly die in team fights, you don't do much damage. I have a lot of experience with this fish. Trust me on it. But but you know he's farming incredibly quickly. Is still able to control waves and the like. Just needs to make sure that he's not anywhere, like, same screen as Rookie is a danger zone right now because he has poked the monster and Rookie is going for the one-shot build. I mean, he already has a Lich Bane on the way. This is something that he loves to do against multiple AD carries. If you're near a wall, he will flash over and find you.
I swear that's the fastest auto attack in Graves I've seen in a long time, since he used to be an AD carry himself. And this Mountain Dragon is going to be spawning here. Snake were able to pick up the first 2 dragons of the game. Invictus Gaming looking to try and take control over this Dragon Pit. Rookie is going to be heading back to base, and so is Paulan to try and stop the pushes that are coming out from Snake on the top side of the map, who are congregating inside the blue buff portion of Invictus Gaming's jungle. Mountain Dragon does fall for Invictus Gaming, but Snake already have one of their own as well as an Ocean Dragon, which is going to be the next elemental dragon to spawn in this game.
Jetso has found Rookie.
Rookie's in a bit of trouble. Here comes the Pulverize as well as the Stand United, but the Angry Cow just smashes the ground and gets nothing out of it.
But once again, good aggressive posturing out of the Snake lineup means that they do secure themselves a turret in response for the Dragon, and they get themselves out with a blue buff. So 7,000 gold, 6-ish, is now the lead. And they just need to continue to do this hit and run because time and time again, we already mentioned it's such a hard composition to win skirmishes with. Victor's just going to be able to out-damage pretty much the entirety of the team.
Here comes an arrow, only going to land on top of Jay-Z, takes a bit of damage, doesn't pop the ultimate, decides to at the end of that fight.
Whoa.
Kid, though, smashes Martin into his team. The 80 carry is down, but Paulan takes a lot of damage in return. Jay-Z actually might be the next target. Rookie chases him down. Marge is going to be able to take down Jay-Z, as now the rest
Rookie's still going.
The rest of Snake are just going to try and retreat away from this fight. And time again, IG just pick off Snake one by one.
And this is what we said. The team fights are just way easier to execute for Invictus Gaming. They have the Ashe in the initiation. And save is unkillable because there's no armor penetration in the lineup. And just very greedy builds across the board. I mean, you wonder how much longer Snake can actually hold on for. They had the dream start to this game, but all of a sudden the Ashe, the Victor, they're coming into their own. Kid, run!
Speaking of Ashe, Marge has been having a terrific game so far on this Ashe. Missed a couple of arrows very early on, but now has been hitting them quite nicely in these fights, positioning quite well as well.
Yeah, to be fair, that one he just shot into Jay-Z, so I'm not sure we call that a hit where I'm from.
He died spawn.
Yeah, technically he did. You were correct, my friend. However, I would like to see if he can maybe nail Martin in the next fight. Of course, it wasn't really necessary as Kid went and got him that time around. And as soon as Kid has this Cinder Hulk, they're going to have 2 huge takes to deal with. Not really anyone that can get it done. SOFM has a QSS.
Yep, he's an AD carry now, Spawn.
I'm so confused.
You flip the builds around between SOFM and Martin. It looks a little bit more believable, minus the jungle item.
But as we said, Martin went for a greedy build as well. I mean, there's no armor penetration to be seen. In that build, a set for the Dustblade Attractor. I understand that has some flat pen, but normally with flat penetration builds, you want to continue to build on it. You go towards death, the other one, Thunderlords, because you can get the flat penetration from that, then Youmu's, as well as some Runes and Masteries, and into the Dustblade afterwards. Give you about 70 flat penetration. Right now, he would be on nothing.
You'd have to wait and see if he does go for a Last Whisper sooner or later. You'd have to think that SOFM might have to do the same thing with the way he's taking his build on Graves. Curious to see if he stays with the QSS or goes for the Mercurial Scimitar for the extra damage and lifesteal. The top side of the map, Flandre still split pushing. He's going for a full tank build, working on his 5th item at the moment.
And I remember back in the day when my criticism of Over the Top was actually Flandre. Now he's playing perfectly standard as the arrow goes high, wide, not very handsome against Jay-Z. And it's actually the rest of the team that just needs to calm down.
They had a, what's the word for it? I don't remember anymore. An intervention for Flandre, and he just spread it to the rest of his team. They realized how much fun he was having back in the day. Now Flandre's like, guys, I've settled down. You guys got to do the same. Come on.
Exactly right. You can see the amount of damage that actually comes out of SOFM is quite high, however. Rookie has finished up that Lich Bane. Nearly level 16 as well.
He's still going for the one-shot build. He only has 2 tanks to deal with. So if he can get past the 2 of them with his Ghost, he's going to be able to deal a lot of damage to the backlines.
And honestly, Jay-Z's only just ticked level 11. And he's not all that tanky at the moment, Alistair. Ever since it changes the ultimate, to increase the damage reduction with ranks of the ultimate does feel a little bit different, and you feel pretty fragile, to be honest. So still wouldn't put it past Rookie to be able to get a good combo in on him.
So meanwhile, we check into the rest of the items. Karma's been able to pick up the Rabadon's Death Cap as well as the Rylai's Crystal Scepter. So lots of ability power coming out and lots of not only crowd control, but also abilities to heal the rest of the team with the Athene's Unholy Grail. That tag picked up as the first item. You can see the Hurricane Rapid Fire Cannon coming out from Marge, so lots of crit, 80% coming out from the Ashe already.
A little bit more standard on the Ashe than it is on the Graves.
I would not be surprised if we get late into this game and SOFM's got an Infinity Edge in there somewhere.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
We've seen him...
for all the wrong reasons.
We have seen him sell his jungle item before to pick up that Eye Edge. Now the rest of Invictus Gaming are now grouping up towards the blue buff. We're going to give that one over towards Rookie. Only recently been able to pick them up. Collateral damage actually coming up over the top to try and steal that away.
But that's a big cooldown expended from SOFM. See whether they can make him pay for it, because there are assist pings going down all over this Baron area. Rookie wants the death cap before he fights. You can see that Tank still has no MR. SOFM only on a QSS.
They've still got Flandre split pushing, and Dragon's going to be coming back up in 5 seconds. It's still an elemental dragon. It was the Ocean that will be spawning next. Baron's back up at the same time, and Snake looking to try and get vision over this pit. There's a couple of wards they haven't been able to spot out and clear out. So Invictus Gaming fully aware of what's happening at the moment. Flandre with his Stand United, with his teleport, and now a Guardian Angel looking fairly strong and confident to get into this next team fight.
Yeah, definitely, but maybe just ignorable at this stage of the game because, as we said, doesn't push nearly as fast enough. Marge does get chunked out there. You can see that the W from Martin is starting to put in some work. I just think that this is the experience of IG really shining through. You already mentioned the creative ward positioning, making sure they don't have to approach the Baron, understanding exactly where everything is on the map, ignoring Flandre because they know he doesn't push all that quickly and only responding with save. This is going to be a hard game.
Lands on top of Tank. That's a big target to hit, but they don't follow up anytime soon. Here comes the Hecarim looking to charge through the back. Martin's got a good position to try and stop that one, though. Pops the Dustblade on top of the Hecarim, and then Invictus Gaming decided not to follow up after the Enchanted Crystal Arrow connected.
Yeah, they only use the Ghost after that out of Rookie, so everything else still available, but Enchanted Crystal Arrow, big cooldown. As you mentioned, it is the IE build. This gives maybe the go button to be able to go towards that Baron. Still a clever ward, spotting out that it is only a bait at this stage.
And they do get the Rift Herald as well, means lots of movement speed for Snake if they try to peel off. Flandre's been spotted on the flip side. They've got a big wave pushing on the top side of the map as well. Snake see that the pillar falls down. That ward will expire shortly and have already started on the Baron, but Snake don't understand it. Invictus Gaming know this is happening now. Lockdown Baolan. Kid's going to try and dive into the back lines. In fact, just goes for the front first. Curtical to start the fight off. Doesn't get interrupted by the Brom ultimate, so he fires all 4 shots off and takes down the support to start the fight. Flandre tanks up a lot and decides to back up, but there goes the Hecarim straight in the back. Tank will get the Stand United, but it's been caught off. Kid takes him down, and Invictus Gaming start the fight strong, but lose 2 key members at the end.
And one more time, Rookie flashes forward. They're trying to stop the port coming out of Flandre here.
Long teleport times means he's not going to get away. They pop the Guardian Angel as well. Invictus Gaming fighting back strong in this match. Flandre desperately trying to work around, gets tagged up by the Rylai's Crystal Scepter. In fact, a flash coming out there looking for him. Enchanted Crystal Arrow connects. They're going to be able to take him down. Flandre will fall. And after the extended team fight, Invictus Gaming going to look towards the Baron.
Yeah, they certainly will, but do they have enough time? You can see instead they peel away. They don't want to give away that big creep wave as well as the middle lane turret. So good team fight there out of IG one more time. They're pretty much in the driver's seat now. And unless Snake can come up with another cheeky play, it's just not going to be enough. Rookie is playing like a man possessed. I mean, they did their best to camp him out, but one more time he flashed forward and nailed 3 members with a laser as well as the ultimate.
This is looking so strong on this Victor at the moment. Rookie, every single team fight dealing the most damage for his team. That time around, SOFM was able to get a couple more shots in between.
Oh, he's got a death cap as well now, Fish.
Just wasn't enough, and you're right. Death cap being picked up by Rookie means his damage is going to be amplified, and you mentioned he goes for that Lich Bane as one of his core item builds, and he's just one-shotting people he can get auto attacks off on. We check in with SOFM, now finally picked up his Maw of Malmortius. So sitting at technically 6 items with the QSS, we have to see what part of his build he changes up, because it doesn't look too optimized at the moment.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't. I mean, he doesn't have all that much AD, and he's got double deal items in there. He does have a little bit more survivability because the Maw gives him effective health pool. But you can see, takes half of his health pretty much from one laser.
Armor penetration also being picked up by Martin, so he'll be able to deal with Kid a little bit more effectively in these team fights. There's a good curtain call position coming out from him, just narrowly away from the Braum ultimate so he doesn't get cancelled. And was able to pick off Balan at the start of the team fight. But after that, everyone just dives straight on top of him, and there's nothing too much Martin can do.
Save going for the classic 50% cooldown reduction build on Trundle. Of course, both Trinity Force as well as a Black Cleaver give you 20% there, so nothing can save you now, Save.
This Rookie tags up the Baron.
SOFM hit it with a smoke screen, so Rookie actually used his Q to get the shield. Used it to run out. Quite cute. Like that interaction. Save is massive on Trundle. I mean, without armor penetration, I just don't think anyone can kill him. Martin has picked up a Last Whisper, but of the 4 bullets, you want to put 0 precisely into a Trundle.
SOFM has more luxury, reloads a little bit more quicker, but he's got no armor penetration except for the Maw Malmortius. He's got more crit, which isn't being multiplied by an Infinity Edge either. C-Spawn, I think it's just, once he bought the Hurricane, everything's just gone downhill for Snake.
Yeah, 100%. And it's been a game of 2 halves. SOFM at the start of the game was absolutely crushing Rookie. Since then, I think Rookie started 0-3. He's gone 6-1 afterwards. You can see that Kid, we said he's a team fighting jungler. If he can get through the early game, everything will be all right. Well, he's caught up pretty much in items as well as farm and levels. 3, 4, and 8. A very similar scoreline to SOFM as well. And after a very... I mean, he got 4 buffed on his second rotation of the jungle. Just has not looked the same. He's got for Snake.
He's got some big items picked up as well now with the Guardian Angel, as well as the Dead Man's Plate. Means that Hecarim's just going to be able to charge into that backline with that lack of armor penetration. There's a few ways to deal with him, especially since Snake does too much. SOFM has been caught out. Does get the Stand United as well as the Cleanse to keep him alive, but gets taken down. Flandre does join the fight, but a little bit too late as the Superstar Jungler's already gone. They're just chasing them down. Flandre will fall for the double kill for Marge. Now Jay-Z's in trouble. Kid's going to continue chasing him down. The Alistar's a bit angry. He gets to pulverize, but that might be all he can do as Rookie shoots him up with an auto attack to take down the kill. Here comes the ultimate coming out from Jin trying to chase them. But Save just blocks them all off. Marge does get clipped off in the end though. And unlucky coming out from Snake. Means that they can't actually fight this fight with just Martin and Tank left available. They're still chasing him down.
As I said, Save is not an easy man to kill for Martin.
He certainly isn't, but they're still
Rookie
going.
And Kid are behind them now.
Now they're just going to fight their way out of this one. Baolan and Save are really low, but a good pillar stops there. Rookie just one-shots Martin. Now takes the next target. Will take down Baolan for his efforts, but that's 3 members of IG just pushing on strong to take the double kill. And now it's just completely swung into Invictus Gaming's favor.
And there is a reason we call it the one-shot build, and it's because that happens whenever he goes near an AD carry. Rookie is on absolute fire. Now 9, 4, and 6. Marge, with his first death of the game, has actually looked much more impressive with Balan in the starting lineup. And this is just without even Rookie here. They catch out SOFM and blow him up. They just overcommit almost, but they get everything down onto him. And Flandre, we already said this, he's ignorable. If he doesn't hit a big taunt, if he's not getting those flanking plays, they can just completely disregard the Shen and just push past almost.
And I pull it back to what you said at Champions Select Spawn. Invictus Gaming already have such little damage on their team. As soon as you remove one of those components, it just looks like they fall apart.
Yeah, Snake, they just have to be able to flirt with the edges of the team fight. You know, Tank needs to be able to get people in and out, and he's just not able to do that because people are getting picked by this Ash Arrow. And Raz says it the best. You know, you can pick whatever the heck you want, but if you can't execute on it, it's a bad pick. Whether on paper it's good or not, if Snake cannot execute this team composition, it's just not a good pick. And Martin, although 7,000 damage on that screen, I'm going to say about 5 of it was on into save, and that's not good enough.
And take a look at that damage dealt graph. I look at SFM again, the third time we've seen the graph, and the third time he's done less damage than Jay-Z. Invictus Gaming have done a really good job of locking him down every time the Enchanted Crystal Arrow connects with Snake's jungler. We're approaching 75,000 gold for both these teams now, no longer in a gold deficit, Invictus Gaming. And this is about a time where you see 6 items picked up as we take a look at the gold swing as well. That is...
Oh, and they were up by nearly 9,000 gold.
Goodness.
Pre-20 minutes. I mean, SOFM, he really did have an impressive early game, but IG and Kid, they just keep coming at you, unrelenting.
They certainly did. Now, incredibly far behind, especially because of the item builds that they've gone for. It means they're going to have to sell a couple of these items to be a little bit more efficient. SOFM is at full, but 2 crit items with no multiplier and no armor penetration is a little bit weird.
And Save has actually sold his Phage. So, you know, just wanted to get through the early game with it.
See, that's what should have been done to this Hurricane item, I feel.
He sold it for a pink ward and the completion of the Titanic Hydra.
I don't blame him.
No, neither do I. I mean, as I said, if it's just going to be to get through that early game, if that's how you feel like you can chase down a Shen and win out the laning phase, more power to you.
It's going to be the Elder Dragon being picked up by Invictus Gaming as well. Collateral damage actually just coming up from SOFM to clear the midway. Rookie's chasing him down there, looking to see if they can get the arrow off. Saves trying to connect. But they do get back to safety.
Yeah, it doesn't go through the base gates. Instead, dashes over the wall. Not a bad decision.
Whew. Now, IG trying to make the most out of both their Baron and Dragon buff, pushing through the mid lane. They're going to get lots of damage on towards this turret. The Cocoon will come out to try and stop them from pushing only forward. SOFM takes a little bit of burn damage there, but this inhibitor will fall, and there's nothing much that Snake can do. There's the ultimate coming out from Jin, but just lands 4 shots straight in towards Baolan and Kid. Not the targets you definitely want to try and take down.
Yeah, certainly is not. They break the base, so Snake now need to look to repel one more time. It's just getting desperate almost, Fish. And you know what, 20 minutes into the game, if you told me that was over half the game still to come, would not have believed you, and yet IG knocking on the base for a second time.
Well, here we are, Spawn. The second inhibitor turret's already down to half health off of 1 minion wave being pushed in towards it. The rest of Invictus Gaming just grouping up, staying nice and safe. Kid trying to do what he can to wreak some havoc in the back lines as he clears out a couple of minions in the mid lane. Gives him the opportunity to flank if Invictus Gaming get a little bit confident and go for a dive.
And Kid, he's looked aggressive the entirety of the game. I mean, he didn't like being pushed around early, but he took his dues. Now, Arrow comes out onto tank.
Lands on top of him, actually forced to cleanse out of it. The turret will fall down. This just looks like another inhibitor that's going to fall shortly. The only member that's low on Invictus Gaming is Baolana. He's the support, so he's more than happy to try and take out a little bit of damage. Collateral damage is coming out from SOFM to try and chip away at the team, but it does absolutely nothing. Inhibitor turret falls. Marge just walks up and puts a few arrows into it, and suddenly the base has been broken wide open for Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, exactly right. They take the recall. Invictus Gaming cold-blooded at the moment. I mean, SOFM and Martin, the 2 players collecting farm right now, they're done. But unfortunately, whilst you can change items, you can't change compositions. And you see that SOFM actually has sold his jungle item. He's going towards that last Whisper now completed.
Still feel like the Hurricane should have been what should have been sold there. Besides, the jungle item is a little bit less effective. We'll pick up not Lord Dominic's regard, the other one.
Mortal Reminder.
Mortal Reminder. I think that's exactly what SFM needs after this game.
I think the translator's going to have a couple more furious words with it.
As Fandre actually gets caught out a little bit here, knocked backwards by Kid, stunned up by the concussive blows. Marge can be able to slow him down, forces the flash away from the Shen.
But that's enough. And they all of a sudden, ult tank, he doesn't have the cleanse.
He's going to have to try and flash away, still gets clipped though. Jay-Z goes to the back lines. Kid going to take a bit of damage. That's an angry cow, but one that's taking too much damage. Collateral damage just goes straight through the team. The field goal is good as Marge picks up the kill. Now SOFM in trouble, tries to run away. Will get Stand United to keep himself alive, but Kid takes too much damage in the back lines. Martin already taken down. They're just hunting down the Vietnamese jungler as IG just chase on forward. He's trying to do what he can to quick draw and
They do
kite
not
back.
like SOFM right now. Rookie wants his man.
He's getting his revenge right here, right now, as Marge picks up the kill. And with 3 members of Snake dead, Invictus Gaming have their eyes set towards the Nexus.
And I think that tells a whole story. I mean, Invictus Gaming, they could have turned around and just ended the game there. But no, they hunt him halfway down mid lane, Fish. You can see that all of the early game pressure that he put out returned in full at 44 minutes in.
And somehow, Invictus Gaming fight back from a 9,000 gold deficit to continue the trend of this week's spawn and pick up the win over Snake eSports.
And it was not just any 9,000 gold deficit. I mean, that is a sub-20 minute 9,000 gold deficit. That is nigh impossible to claw back from. And you can see that SOFM rips his headset off. He's not all that happy. And you know, when you've been killed over and over again by Rookie, I can understand why.
And this was coming from a start where Martin was walking away from an Ash Arrow, sipping his tea, casually trying to evade this into a game that's just fallen flat on the head for Snake. Invictus Gaming forced their way back into that one quite valiantly.
Yeah, 100%. We said it from the start. I mean, they had a really weird team composition coming out of Snake, but they executed on it so well for the first 20 minutes of the game. It's just when it got to these team fights that it all started falling apart.
You can see everyone from Snake just flashing over the wall after picking up the Baron buff. Tank gets a good snipe on towards Kid, and this is where things started to look like Snake. Okay, they're going to close the game out now, but no. Invictus Gaming had a few words to say about that.
Well, actually, just watch Rookie in this fight, because, I mean, Rookie just flashes forward in a second and lights up 3 members. They do a terrific job of kiting back the front line, and here we go. Just laser across a couple, hold on to 3, and then Kid does the rest of it. We mentioned, you know, SOFM, he's more of that solo queue style jungler, but Kid is coming to his own as a team fighting jungler.
He certainly has. Him and Marge had such great synergy in that game as well. Marge hits the perfect enchanted arrow. He follows up. Good positioning from Ash means she's going to be able to pick up double kills like we saw in this fight. And Invictus Gaming just truly played like a team once they were able to claw back that goal deficit.
Yeah, and I'm really going to question the pick ban phase, because we've seen so many of these Karma double AD carry compositions with double tanks, and I love them in theory, and yet I'm still yet to see a team execute them to the degree that they need to be able to. I mean, this was 2 people chasing 2 people chasing 2 people, and Rookie destroys Martin here. As we said, there's a reason we call it the one-shot build, and it's because you don't live through that combo.
Certainly don't. And Rookie had a very poor start to the game here with SOFM constantly in his mid lane, was able to pull it back, you know, get lots of damage in that late game fight, especially with that one-shot build. And Invictus Gaming, they're able to throw that game back and pull it back after a 9,000 gold deficit and pick up the win over Snake in game 1. But don't go anywhere. We'll be back in about 5 minutes for game number 2 in just a bit.